So there is a growing impotence and also the feeling of being gaslit by doctors because they get so frustrated when they give you all these suggestions and you're already doing them and they're not working. So apparently I'm doing the CBT wrong because it's not working. My fibromyalgia flare-up is literally because these motherfuckers have been ignoring the problem for so long. But I am the problem at the fact that my migraines have been untreated for so long. And when I told him, and he's like, well, what do you want us to do? I already had a plan. While I was housed, I did everything to keep these flare-ups from getting to this point. You, as the ECM system, chose to get me out of the housing that I was in because I was being abused. Cool. But what have you offered? You don't have treatment for me because all of the treatment that is available for my conditions require me to be housed. So what are my goddamn options? None. And this is what they do to homeless people on a consistent basis. Instead of giving me some sort of relief or options, this doctor basically said, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. You need to exercise. Cool. I know I need to exercise. How do I prevent the blisters on the bottom of my feet? How do I prevent the bruising? How do I prevent sores from forming? You can give me exercise as an option. You can give me meditation and therapy as an option all you fucking want. The body is still deteriorating and you're still making excuses for why these treatments where you're only focused on people's mental health are not working. They're not working because you're letting the rest of the body deteriorate. You're allowing it to deteriorate. You're allowing the nervous system to be in pain for such long periods of time that it no longer functions well anymore. That is what you are doing. You don't get to put that on the patients anymore. You do not get to call them drug addicts. You do not get to call them non-compliant. You do not get to discriminate against homeless people and then say that homeless people are the problem. You don't get to do that. You're not allowed to do that. You are allowed to provide options. If you do not have options, you keep your mouth shut. You don't tell people, hey, ma'am, well, these are the options that I have for you. These are, I don't know what to do for you. Okay, say it in a tone of voice where you're not blaming the patient for not doing CBT right. That was the stupidest comment. Well, how are you doing CBT? Are you telling me that every single therapist that I've had for the last 2 decades didn't know how to do CBT? Are you telling me? Because I'm not going to describe my therapy sessions with a pain management doctor when my therapy sessions have been used against me in the past. You have no right to ask me about private therapy sessions. I am there for you to address a problem that's not being addressed. And once again, you left me without addressing it and fully frustrated at the point that you guys have no options for individuals like myself without placing us in harm's way. All because you believe it's cost effective to leave homeless people dying on the streets. This is murder. This is murder what you guys are doing. It's fucking murder. Very slow, torturous murder while the world watches what you do. What happens to me will happen to all of you. Understand that. Because this is an insurance problem, a bureaucracy problem, and a societal problem that keeps getting set aside. If we don't start talking about the goddamn elephant in the room, that being unhoused makes it impossible to manage chronic conditions, then you are the problem. You as foundations, you as nonprofits, you as churches, because you are supposed to fill the gaps that our medical insurance and our government has. It's why you get the nonprofit status where you don't have to pay as many taxes as everybody else. So when are we going to put a stop to it? And when are doctors going to stop blaming their patient because they're not getting better? Because it's not from lack of trying. And I'm fed up of hearing that and being told I need to exercise. I do exercise, you dumb motherfucker. I do exercise. And fibromyalgia isn't the only issue. I'm living with it. But you're letting it get worse. You're letting it get worse because the options that you have available are harmful to the human body. And I didn't even go in. I specifically didn't put fibromyalgia on my thing so that you would listen to what I was saying. And as soon as I let fibromyalgia slip out, you shut it down and sent me to therapy. You sent me to fucking therapy! I'm already in fucking therapy! You do not understand the level of abuse that this is to somebody with sensory issues. You do not understand the abuse that the medical system is on somebody with sensory issues. So stop telling patients that they're the problem, because this is what makes us not want to go to the doctor at all. And I'm done. I'm done begging you guys for help. Every single time my symptoms deteriorate, they deteriorate worse and I lose more function. You keep giving me the ability to walk again for what? Stop giving me the ability to walk. I don't want to walk anymore. I don't want to walk if this is the best I can expect. Do you not understand that? If I'm going to be blamed every time I ask for help because I'm walking and the walking is causing more harm. So tell me at what point does the person get help? At what point is housing the prescription? Because you can't help me, but you won't let me help myself. So really, at what point do you guys realize that it's more cost effective to house disabled people on maintenance programs? At what point will you decide? Because allowing them to become homeless because you don't think they're doing enough is making them sick. Because I'm not the only one. And I'm not the only one talking about it either. You guys are damaging people and then blaming them for the damage that you created, and your doctors. You're blaming them for the damage that you guys created. So just keep that in mind. All of your bullshit oath of first do no harm, you're harming people. You're harming people by not emphasizing that housing is a prescription. It is a prescription. Oh, you can put it in your notes. You can put it in your notes. That's all you have to do. Even if nobody ever reads the notes, you can put it in your notes. The way you write your notes matters, because this guy is going to blame me for everything that happened today and for me not being better, and that's what he's going to put in his notes. So when the next person looks at the notes, they're going to think that I'm not compliant, even though I am fully compliant to what they are asking and what I can safely do while living in my car without putting myself at risk. If you're willing to put my life at risk, then you're not the doctor for me. If you believe that I'm not compliant because you are putting my life at risk, that is malpractice. It's not just that you're not the doctor for me, it's that you're practicing medicine in a way that is dangerous to the patient and to the people around them. So keep that in mind. You keep discriminating against your homeless patients, and we'll keep talking about it until the day we die. And when we die, we will become a symbol of everything you didn't do, because you're creating martyrs where there didn't need to be any goddamn martyrs. I told you guys, this war doesn't get won by martyrs. This war gets won by individuals working within that profession and saying, no more will I harm my patients because this is not working. Sending them to therapy for fibromyalgia when we're ignoring lymphatic issues and other problems, including MCAS, is abuse in all its words. So y'all keep it at it, because this is what makes us not want to go to the doctor. And when we do go in, because the symptoms have gotten so out of control and you can't fix it, you still blame the patient, because your egos as doctors and nurses are so big that you don't belong in medicine. Because the only way you will learn that the way you're practicing medicine is harmful is if they take your license away. That is the only way you motherfuckers are going to learn that not treating pain causes the symptoms to progress to the point where they become neurological problems. We are not going to keep putting a Band-Aid as I lose cognitive function. We're not going to keep putting a Band-Aid as I lose the ability to walk and move my arms. We're not going to keep putting a goddamn migraine Band-Aid on migraines. We're not going to keep putting Band-Aids on migraines. That is not okay. They are debilitating and they are dangerous. So let me debilitate to the point where you can't ignore it anymore, because it's obvious you still don't want to treat the problem. You just want to treat the symptoms so that you as doctors continue to have a job. So you as foundations continue to have a job, because if there's homeless people, you continue to have a job. The day there's no more homeless people, you no longer have a job. You have no one else to save. If you cure the problem, you no longer have a patient. And that's what pisses you off, that all of my conditions are manageable if I have housing and a food source. They're manageable. The moment you take that away, I start to decline. That was a choice that you guys made. As a society, as my family, as my friends. And coming to me now, pretending to be my friend after you allowed my body to deteriorate to the point where I am now, doesn't just make you a fucking enemy. It makes you a sadistic, psychotic piece of shit that I don't want in my life. Because it's not about me not taking responsibility for my life and my problems. It's the fact that I've been taking responsibility for my health for so long that I'm not willing to put up with doctor experimentation that is going to harm me again. Because you have no idea what you're fucking doing at this point. I love you and have a good day. And may everything you do upon another is reflected upon you.